Hello, everyone, and welcome to Harv's World for episode 2 of ISCHIA Farm. So, we're back in Italy, and I was just looking at this lovely Italian flag right next to my little house, and I realized that I knew something about the Italian flag actually, that the color green represents hope, that white represents faith, and that red represents charity. So, the Italian flag is fairly symbolic. Faith, hope, and charity, three fantastic traits everyone should try to practice as much as possible. Now, before we get deep into this today, I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there. It's amazing. We surpassed 150 followers today. We are currently at 155 as of this recording. Absolutely amazing. I can't thank you all enough. All the anonymous subscribers out there, thank you so much. And we have some new subscribers I'd like to give shout outs to. We've got Aaron Wiggins, You're Rusty, Red Viking, Permute, Driver 53 Gaming, and Aiden Sherwood. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the channel. I really appreciate you being here. Can't thank you enough, sincerely. And I want to give one special shout out to a young woman, well, to a woman, I believe. Her name is Katja. She is the one who suggested that we come to Italy in the first place, and she always leaves the nicest comments. So thank you for that, Katja. I very much appreciate it. So, getting back down to brass tacks and business here, we have got all of this straw sitting around, and this isn't just any straw. This is a special sorghum straw. Not like you would find on any other map. It's not regular straw, and I have fiddled with this just a little bit, trying to figure out the best way to manage it all, and we've got a lot of it. And I've gone through a few different types of balers, and they do not like this straw. So what we're going to end up using is a forage wagon. Just pick it up in bulk and take it off and sell it. So this is our sorghum. You know, we harvested this last episode. And interesting thing about sorghum, it's a very corn-like crop, but it doesn't grow ears like corn. Those red bulbs on top, those are actually seed pods, and when we harvest the sorghum, that's what we're harvesting. And sorghum is kind of an ancient grain that has declined in popularity, but it's regrowing. It's coming back now, partly because, you know, the plant that we just saw, that's not as representative of real-life sorghum, because real-life sorghum grows much like corn to be, you know, as much as 10 feet tall sometimes. And the reason it's regaining popularity is because it's, unlike corn, corn is considered a thirsty plant. It takes a lot of water to keep corn going, where sorghum just kind of says, oh, there's no water, we'll just chill and wait for it. You know, it doesn't wilt, it doesn't wither, it just kind of has adapted itself to low moisture environments, and it's becoming more and more popular in the United States simply because of the scarcity of water in certain areas like the Great Plains, which was one of the reasons that we had the Dust Bowl in the Great Plains in the 1930s. A lack of water, a severe drought. And even though they've found ways to tap into water now, well, it's not quite that simple, because they've tapped so much water that the Ogallala Reservoir, or the Ogallala Aquifer, excuse me, underneath the Great Plains, leading all the way up almost into Canada, has started to run low. They've drained so much water out of it, it is now a concern. So they're using crops like sorghum to feed cattle. You can chop it just like you do corn and feed it to livestock. So, and it doesn't take up nearly as much water. So that's why we have a resurgence in sorghum taking place. Anyway, we do have, actually, I should get out and look at these. We've got these protein peas, and they're ready to harvest. An interesting thing about protein peas, well, they don't tell us they're ready to harvest. They don't change colors like other plants do. They don't get dry and brown. But they are definitely ready, and I want to get a worker started on this ASAP. Why? Well, because we've got a lot to get done. And so I'm going to put a worker on this, get that started. We did our course generation. Well, it's telling me I've got to redo it now. Generate the course. Very good. Drive the course. Thank you. And this will harvest with a standard harvester, just like any other crop. So let's get back to the farm right about here. Fantastic. And we're going to grab the Fent. And we are going to head over to the shop. Because we need to get a forage wagon. A loading wagon, whatever you want to call it. It's a wagon. And it picks up stuff off the ground. So that's what we're going to grab so we can take care of the straw and hopefully make a little bit of money off of it. That's the plan anyway. Now, something else interesting that I've discovered about Italy, I've actually kind of known this for a long time, but it's something that a lot of people may not know, is that Rome, the capital city, was the first ancient city ever to house 1 million people. They were able to house, and they actually expect it was more like somewhere around 1.5 million people, which is pretty interesting if you think about it. An ancient city doesn't have any of the modern conveniences that we're used to, and somehow they managed to take care of 1 million people. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Right now we want to get a loading wagon. So we look here, and I think we're just going to go with this class. Although this holds a little bit more. Let's see. So that's 76.50, and the class is 70. That's only about $500 difference. I'm going to go with the bigger one. We've got a lot to haul, a whole lot to haul. So we're just going to lease this. I'm pretty sure we'll make our money back. And let me take a look. So this sorghum straw has its own special category right down here. And right now, the ranch is buying at $248. We are definitely going to take advantage of that. Now we can see the port will buy our sorghum, but the price is dropping. We've lost a lot of value in that. We're just going to wait for it to go back up. But now we're concerned about the straw. We're going to sell it. We're just going to pick it up and sell it at the ranch. So let's get busy on that. And I need to make sure I'm paying attention to our harvester too, because I'm going to need to unload that thing from time to time, depending on what our worker is up to. But for now, we're just going to take in this lovely Italian scenery as we drive our way back to the farm. Oh, so speaking of Rome, so yeah, Rome was the first ancient city that was able to house 1 million people. And it's more like 1.5 million, like I said. And the reasons they were able to do this, well, they were a republic, and they became very good at managing the vital necessities. One thing that they discovered early on was that people needed clean water. So bringing water into the city became a big priority. In fact, if you've never seen them, I strongly recommend checking out the Roman aqueducts. These were massive constructions. Some of them were up to 50 miles long. Oh, I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Well, we'll find a way back. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we're kind of in the right place, I think. Anyhow, And these aqueducts, they piped fresh water, they channeled fresh water into the city. And because of that, they were able to keep people healthy and happy. Alright, I'm going to fire this up, drop that down, and I want to see what path I'm on a little bit better, so I'm going to do that. And then, of course, when you've got all those people, well, you need to, to keep them healthy, you need to make sure that you're dealing with human byproducts, also known as poop. And so, you know, they built a massive sewer system to flush all of that out of the city. In fact, after the collapse of the Roman Empire, everything, of course, went into disrepair, and that old sewer system pretty much got buried and forgotten. And when modern Rome revamped its own sewer system, they put in a system that followed the path of that old sewer almost perfectly, until the old sewer was rediscovered at some point. So unbeknownst to them, they managed to route a sewer the exact same way the ancient Romans had done it. I don't know. Interesting little geeky fact, which I just happen to enjoy. I hope you do too. And you can see, I mean, I've almost filled up this trailer already with this sorghum straw. If we don't have 500,000 liters on this field, I will be shocked. Now let's see if we can't just sneak right down this hill. And I think the ranch is in this direction. I need to get this straw cleared because these fields need to be limed, fertilized, and all plowed. That's not exactly making a clean sweep, so I'm going to have a lot of cleanup to do on this field too, on those protein peas, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. I'm glad this place is close by. So this is the ranch. It looks like they specialize in horses out here. And because of that, it looks like they buy this sorghum straw. So, oddly enough, it is dumping in. You just can't see it. Like I said, there's a few issues with the sorghum straw. It doesn't always work and play well together, but that wagon load just brought us $13,000. And we need it because, remember, we are trying to pay off a $2.5 million debt. I'm going to cut right across our own field right here. I should have known this was here. And I figured that was going to happen, so my next step is to grab the Deutzfahr, fire that mother up, and go unload our harvester. It's a busy work afternoon. We're probably going to be working well into the evening. Look at the sheer volume of straw. If you need sorghum straw, let me tell you, it's not hard to come by. In mass quantities, let me tell you. here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull this guy up here. Looks like the Deutzfahr is already set up to follow. So that works. And we can get right back to our straw collection. There we go. Yeah, that's working out pretty nicely over there. We got a little bit of course play, a little bit of follow me, and everybody is working and playing well together. Outstanding. Truly outstanding. I love it when a plan comes together. Most of the time. As long as it's my plan. I'm going to cut back over to this row. So, Mount Vesuvius, if you're not familiar with Mount Vesuvius, erupted many moons ago and buried several cities around it in ash, completely decimating them and destroying them. Well, if I haven't told you already, I might have said this earlier, but Mount Vesuvius is one of 3 active volcanoes in Italy, and it's not that far from us. It's just outside of Naples, and we saw where Naples is compared to us yesterday, so while we are reasonably safe out on this island, at least from any kind of eruption, gosh, and we're full again already, look at that. Time to go sell more straw. Like I was saying, while we are reasonably safe out here on this island, it still would not be pleasant if that were to erupt. So let's keep our fingers crossed, shall we? Now, one other interesting fact about Italy, if you're not already aware, Italy, well, Rome in particular, going back to Rome, includes Vatican City. And as everybody probably knows by now, Vatican City is the seat of the Catholic Church. It's where the basis of the Catholic Church is founded. And what you might not know is that Vatican City is the smallest country in the world. So even though it's technically part of Rome, it's its own country, complete with military. Yeah, we're finally starting to learn our way around here just a little bit. I think I got lucky in my field placement when the VanHorns bought this place. I think we got just a little bit lucky with where they decided to buy. I had no idea that we'd have such easy access to that ranch and that we'd be making such good money off of this sorghum. So whoever planted it, thank you. At least the straw. We haven't even sold the crop yet. Now, one thing I said early on yet in the first episode was that we might be looking into some animals. And this being Italy, that's not out of the question. Not out of the question at all. But I would like to ask you all, what kind of animals would be good? What should we go after? I mean, we've got all of the standard animal types. We've got cattle, we have chickens, we have sheep, we have horses, and we have pigs. Now I've done sheep and I have done cattle. We even did goats. So, and I've done horses, so I'm kind of thinking between chicken and pigs, but I'd like to hear what you all have to say about that. Is there one that you would prefer to see over the other? Something that you would like to know more about? Drop a comment down below. Let me know. Tell me what your ideas might be for our trip to Italy. Be very interested to find out. Heck, even if you just feel like saying hi, drop a comment in the comments down below. And if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Although, like I said, we have been doing remarkably well. And it's kind of amazing. I mean, very well. Look at that. We've barely touched the straw and we're already about to deliver our third trailer load. Like I said, I'm just about guessing we have 500,000 liters of this straw. On the plus side, we're losing over $7,000 a day in interest. So we've at least made back our interest for today and some profit. That's good. So we have a long way to go before we pay off that debt and turn this farm profitable. A long, long way to go. Alright, I'm going to finish knocking out all of this straw. When I'm done, I'll get back to you. Talk to you in a little bit. I am just grabbing up the last little bit of this sorghum straw, which there seems to be an endless supply of. Just a ridiculous amount. So I've been running this over to the ranch, selling it off as I get it, a trailer full. I've pretty much got everything off the field now, with the exception of a few little tiny spots here and there. But that netted us over $90,000. So, yeah. Sign me up for sorghum straw. So there's just a little bit left to sell off. I'll run that over in a second, but before we lose too much light, I'm going to jump in this harvester and clean this field up a little bit. The workers did get done, but man, did they ever do a sloppy job. Alright, one last little spot it looks like. And that's the reason this got missed. Just see, it's like down in an indentation. So this could take some unique harvesting efforts. Let's try coming at it from this angle, see if we can get it better. There we go. Alright, let's unload this thing. See, all of that, I mean, and it looked like we had quite a bit to clean up, and yet we still only have 863 liters in the harvesters, so... Oh, that's the wrong trailer anyway. Yes, let's mix straw and peas. That would not be a tasty meal. And there's our protein peas right there. Yeah, they look pretty pea-like. Alright. Time to get this stuff back to the farm. And And we'll go ahead and put these right on in the silo. Okay, let me take care of this harvester. That's not what I wanted. I wanted follow me. And we're just going to take this over and park it right next to our workshop. Because after harvesting 2 fields, I'm sure it's going to need some maintenance. So let me just swing that right in here. All right. Now we've got a full trailer of fertilizer. Let's just take a look at these fields, find out the status on them. I'm pretty sure I know. Okay, so 27 needs lime. It does not need plowed. 26 needs lime and plowed. And neither one of them is fertilized. So the first thing we're going to do is get a load of fertilizer on this field. That's the first goal. So we got that. Course generation, field 26. Let's say 3 passes. That looks pretty respectable. Yep, there we go. Now, I've only got 3,300 liters of straw, but this needs to be sold. So let's go take care of that. Trying to knock out as much work as I can before the sun goes down. That's my goal at the moment. Might have to do something about this field at some point. Try to level it out. Bring some dirt in. That's enough. I probably should have just brought the straw over first because we have a leased trailer. And I don't really need to pay for it for another hour just for 3,300 liters of straw. That's probably not going to pay the leasing costs. So there, that takes care of that. Drop that trailer. Send it back where it came from. There we go. Okay, very good. That takes care of our leasing cost. So we more than paid for that trailer, or the lease of that trailer. I would pay about $7,500 to lease that, and we made about 90 grand. Yeah, so yeah, we made back the money for leasing easily. Okay, well, we are on our way. Quite nicely, I might add. Okay, since this field needs plowing, right? We decided that. So it's time for the Fent to break out the big boys' toys. Look at that, snuck it right out of there. And away we go. Now I could have put the lime on first. But I didn't want to. I can put the lime on right after we're done plowing. That won't be a problem. And then, actually, we could end up fertilizing again right after the lime. Fertilizing would be done. All we'd have to do is plant and wait. I like that idea. In fact, the fertilizing will be done on both of these fields. We've got our quaint little Italian Ischia village down there. Absolutely beautiful. What's not to love? Okay, well this is a very hardy field, I might add, and it's going to take a significant amount of time, I should say, to finish plowing this off, so why don't you all just sit back and enjoy the music while I keep working. We'll get back together here in just a little bit. Oh yeah, that was quite the plow job. Woo, that took a long time. We got it done before midnight though. Yes, we did. And both fields got fertilized. So, I think we're going to wrap it up until in the morning. We'll be back at it though first thing in the morning. And we still have plenty left to do. So let me go grab some shut-eye. I'll see you when the sun comes back up. And it's a beautiful Tuscan morning. A little bit overcast. Got some clouds in the sky. Actually, this is not Tuscany, so I shouldn't say Tuscan morning, but it's a beautiful Italian morning. Is that better? Does that tick all the boxes? Okay, so again, this stuff needs to be repaired, I'm sure. And I want to check one thing real quick in the garage. Because we have this cultivator. And we're going to have the Fent on that. Okay. So let's grab that out of the garage because our other field needs to be cultivated. At least I think it does. Because I'm not sure where the grapes are going yet, and I'm not sure because like I said, I'm going to put grapes in one field, and then I'm going to put standard crop of some type in another field. I'm just not sure which is which yet. So I'm going to go ahead and get it cultivated. And we're going to put a worker on this one. Start them up right about here. That should do quite nicely. Let's check our course generation. And this time we can do a bunch of headland passes. Let's try 8 and see how that does for us. Yeah, that looks just about right. So we go back and tell this person to drive the course. There we go. Well played, well played. That's a nice cultivator. Power harrow. Very nice indeed. Okay, that being said, I think it's time to put our final coat of fertilizer on this field. I'm not sure I like the Fiat on this this particular, well, anything. It's just incredibly slow. I don't do slow. I want things done. I want to get them done. So I'll go back to Larry the Cable Guy. Get her done. They have cable guys in Italy. Surely they must, right? Right. And I'm sure you noticed during our plow job I was using GPS rampantly, but there's no GPS on this Fiat, and I'm sure as heck not going to put it on here. It's too expensive. It's 15 grand to add GPS to a tractor. We don't have 15 grand to throw away on a tractor that's only worth about 3 times that, so no point whatsoever. So I would be interested to find out or hear if you've got any interesting stories about Italy. If you're from Italy, that would be even cooler. But if you know anything about Italy, let me know. I'm always curious. I love finding out about new cultures, new places, things that, or places I should say, that would be great to visit in my lifetime. I'm not sure I will make it to that many of them, but you never know. You just never know how things are going to play out. And this is another issue with this little Fiat. It just doesn't have the horsepower to get up these steep slopes. That's alright. We'll make it work. Now, if you're wondering how I'm setting up these fields, how I'm applying fertilizer, coming in and plowing, applying fertilizer again, I do have a tutorial video on field preparation, best ordered depending on what your field needs. So if your field would need lime, how would you put it on, you know, at what stage do you put it on, all the way up to planting. So if you need some tips about how to prep your fields, get them ready to go, things like that, I strongly suggest checking out my field preparation tutorial. Sorry, Fiat. I'm sure there's a job for you. I just don't feel like this is the one. Alright, let's get our lime on. And I actually think both of these fields need lime. I'm pretty sure both of them do. But that's going much better. Yep, you see that field taking lime over there. Alright, what do I have to touch up here? Come in from this angle. Knock out this just a little bit right here. Cut back over and we'll just nail this. And I know there was a spot or two down here. That. Yeah, our worker seems to be doing a pretty respectable job cultivating that field over there. That's good. We'll still have to do some touch up, but that's to be expected. Okay, and that's the lime. So at this point, we're just going to double check this. Field 26 is completely prepped and ready to be planted. That's where I wanted to get to today. Field 26 was my goal. And I think Field 26 is going to end up being our grape field. I'm going to keep this worker working over here, getting this particular field all cultivated and ready for planting also. I think that's going to do it for this episode of ISCHIA Farms. I do appreciate you coming along for the ride. If you enjoyed this episode and enjoyed the lovely Italian countryside, do me a favor. Remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. And until next time, take care.